Discover 5 things that happened after Jesus' death. Hey, people! Here we will explore the extraordinary events that occurred after the crucifixion of Jesus. Prepare to be surprised by these shocking events. After Jesus' death, an earthquake of great magnitude shook the earth, causing the rocks to split. This extraordinary event was interpreted as a response to the very creation of the crucifixion of the Son of God. The biblical story highlights that the earth trembled and the rocks were divided, indicating the magnitude and impact of Jesus' sacrifice in nature. The description suggests that this seismic event was very significant, evidencing the importance of 2 divine events that were taking place at that crucial moment in history. After Jesus' death, an earthquake of great magnitude shook the earth, causing the rocks to split. This extraordinary event was interpreted as a response to the very creation of the crucifixion of the Son of God. The biblical story highlights that the earth trembled and the rocks were divided, indicating the magnitude and impact of Jesus' sacrifice in nature. The description suggests that this seismic event was very significant, evidencing the importance of 2 divine events that were taking place at that crucial moment in history. After the death of Jesus, one of the 2 most notable events was the breaking of the temple in 2, symbolizing the abolition of the separation between God and men. The site that covered Santo dos Santos, the most sacred place in the temple, represented the barrier between sinful humanity and the divine presence. To be torn from top to bottom at the moment of the death of Jesus, that divine demonstrating that now all have direct access to God through the redemptive work of Christ. This symbolic event revealed the grace and mercy of God, inaugurating a new era of communion and reconciliation with Him. After the death of Jesus, a supernatural darkness enveloped the entire earth, from midday to 3 hours in the afternoon. This cosmic event could not be explained by a solar eclipse, because it occurred during the summer. The darkness was so dense that it seemed to symbolize the mourning of one's own upbringing for the death of the Son of God. The scriptures are frequently associated with the judgment of God and the sin of humanity. In this context, the shadow on the earth at the moment of the crucifixion of Jesus can be interpreted as a sign of divine judgment on the sin and separation caused by it. This extraordinary event echoes in all of creation, testifying to the magnitude and meaning of that crucial moment in the history of redemption. After the death of Jesus, the Roman centurion entrusted with the execution testimonies of the extraordinary events that accompany the moment of the crucifixion. To witness the earthquake, to see over the earth, and to the way Jesus faced death, something profound happened in his heart. The centurion, accustomed to dinners of death and suffering, was shocked in the same way as Jesus endured all the agony without uttering words of hate or vengeance. Jesus' position in the face of injustice and death touched the heart of the centurion, leading to the realization that that man truly was the Filo de Deus. That moment of revelation transformed his view of that execution and who Jesus was. From the moment he found himself as divine in the figure of the crucified Christ, the centurion, he experienced a profound change in his life and perspective, moving on to exurgate all appearances and reconnoiter the true nature of the sacrifice made on the cross. After the death of Jesus, an extraordinary event occurred when the burial mounds were opened and many bodies of the resurrected saints were resurrected. This only passage recorded in Evangelho de Mateus reveals a surprising event that was not mentioned in other stories. The mounds will be opened, and the saints who have died will be resurrected, emerging from their tombs and appearing many in Jerusalem. This miracle is evidence of the divine power behind the crucifixion of Jesus and his imminent resurrection. The resurrection of these saints before the resurrection of Jesus symbolizes the victory over death that would be conquered by Christ on the cross, preparing the path to redemption and eternal life for all believers. After the death of Jesus, one of the most shocking events was the resurrection of 2 bodies of some saints who had died. This extraordinary manifestation of divine power testifies to the victory of Christ upon death and anticipates his own resurrection. The bodies of these saints were restored to life and emerged from their burial mounds, walking along the streets of Jerusalem and appearing to many inhabitants of the city. This miracle not only confirmed Jesus' authority over death, but also provided a glimpse of future glory reserved for all who believe in him. The resurrection of these saints serves as a tangible testimonial of the redemptive power of Christ and the promise of life. After the death of Jesus, two notable events were the manifestation of events that witnessed the moment of the crucifixion. Second stories, celestial beings descended to Zeus to contemplate the redemptive sacrifice of Christ on the cross. His luminous and majestic presence was perceived by some to present, who felt a divine and supernatural atmosphere surrounding the place of the crucifixion. This angelic visit does not merely highlight the importance and grandeur of the event, but also symbolizes the interaction between the earthly plane and the spiritual plane in fulfillment of the divine plan of salvation for humanity. After the death of Jesus, an extraordinary celestial phenomenon occurs when a multitude of angels descend two heads to testify at the moment of the crucifixion. These celestial beings, enveloped in a resplendent light, and carrying an aura of peace and reverence, stood over Calvary, silently observing the redeeming sacrifice of Christ. His majestic and supernatural presence was perceived by some to present, who felt a divine atmosphere surrounding the place of the crucifixion. The two-year testimonial not only emphasized the importance and sanctity of the event, but also symbolized the connection between the earthly plane and the spiritual plane in the consummation of the divine plan of salvation for all humanity. If you enjoy this content and want to continue exploring biblical topics, check out the channel so you don't miss any future videos. The post-mortem narrative of Jesus is full of supernatural events that highlight his power and love. May we reflect on these events and seek a deeper relationship with. Thanks for following, and may God bless you.